Hi, I'm Big Mike. This is Stoner Kitchen. We're smoking the executive, and we're going to cook some blueberry pork chops. You haven't had blueberry pork chops? They're a fucking bomb, man. Let's try it out. First, we light our joint. Take a big ass hit. That way you can cook. Best cooks are stoners. Now, with our pork chops, we got a family pack here. I don't know if you're familiar with pork prices, meat prices in your supermarket, but meat prices vary. Some supermarkets run them bi-weekly, some of them run bi-monthly, but look at your specials. Count them down on your calendar. Some days chicken's on sale, some days pork's on sale. Depending on which week it is, which supermarket you're really going with, the sale ads, they change. In addition to that, when meat departments, you know, the butchers, I don't want to call them butchers because some of them, quite frankly, aren't anything but meat stockers. But when your meat department runs low, especially on pork and chicken, they get a little nervous and they price that stuff to go. Today we got a family pack of pork chops, $4.28. $4.28 for this. Take a look at all them pork chops. It's a killer deal. Killer deal at King Soopers. But if they're just pork chops, they're just pork chops. We're going to make them better. Watch it out. Get out our skillet. If you looked at previous shows, skillet's important. Skillet's important for iron. You want to preheat your skillet all the time when you're cooking meat. Don't ask why, just preheat the motherfucker. You know? Get in the habit, when you first think about cooking something, put on the pan. Start putting on the pans and start working. We're cooking up blueberry, oops. Hold on a second. We're cooking up blueberry pork chops. You didn't see that. Anyway, we rinsed it off. We're back on track. We've got heat going. We've got our pan heating up. We're doing blueberry pork chops, but we're also going to do oiled noodles. If you haven't had oiled noodles, check it out. It's a treat. Okay, to do oiled noodles, we get our egg noodles. But the first thing we want to do is get our water on. Get in the habit of putting your water on, getting your pans hot. You know, don't even, when you think about something, don't even start to cook. Don't start bringing anything out until you start getting your pans hot. Because everything about cooking is the right temperature, the right timing. Everything you do should come out at the same time. Just like a restaurant. If they're doing short order cooks, you can do it. You can do it at home. You can do it wherever the fuck you're cooking. If you're cooking on the south of the Platte River, then whatever, dude. Cook right. Cook for enjoyment. We got our hot water going for the noodles, egg noodles. Trust me, this is going to be a treat. We got our pan going for our pork chops. Now our vegetables are going to be green beans. We're going to rinse off the green beans with the colander. Throw our green beans into the pan right here. I like steamed green beans. You gotta be steamed. I usually use that pot. In fact, that's the pot I usually use. Since we're not going to be using that pot for green beans, we're using it for noodles. Maybe we're going to switch. Maybe we don't need that big of a pot. Maybe that pot is the pot we need. Don't be afraid to switch pots. You know what I'm saying? It's not the fucking end of the world. People get so uptight about how they're cooking. They look at recipes. They figure if they're a dash off on this or a dash off on that, it's really going to make a difference. It doesn't. Flavor is flavor. They give you a recipe. It's a general idea. That's how they did it. You may not like that much fucking salt in your shit. You may not like that much sour cream in your shit. Change it. Don't be afraid of changing it. On the green beans. Next to our green wheat. Pretty cool. We rinse them off because you don't know what kind of pesticides they got on this shit. They got stuff that'll kill you, man. Fucking give you cancer, all that crap. Alright? Get your green beans, rinse them off, clean them off. Dump them on the cutting board. Make sure your water, all your temperatures are going. Because Temperature is key to cooking, and you want to cook fast. Your family's sitting there bugging you, you know, everybody's hungry. You're hungry, but you got to cook for everybody. Don't worry about it. Cut off the little ends because kids will freak out on the ends of green beans. Those, I don't know, for some reason, they've seen them in a can too long. They see the ends of green beans, they don't want to eat them. Some adults are like that. I had a friend of mine that his food couldn't touch. No matter what you served this motherfucker, his food couldn't touch. So if his green beans were touching the potatoes, guess what? He's not eating the potatoes or the green beans. Weird shit, man. People have weird hang-ups. You're throwing them on there because you're going to be steaming these green beans. And if you're only used to green beans in a can or only used to frozen green beans, fresh green beans will actually be a treat to you. Maybe a treat you don't like. So definitely check it. I only like canned stuff with something. I only like macaroni and cheese out of a box. I'm one of them kids. You know? I only like certain kinds of cereal. And if you give me a generic substitute, I can't really do it. Can't make the transition in my brain. We're cutting off the ends of these green beans while our pans are heating up for the noodles and our pans are heating up for the pork chop. Keeping your dinner on schedule is a skill. And you should try to do that because having your shit come out at different times sucks for everybody. So you should try to cook within the time parameters of all your dishes. That's why we preheat the pans. While I'm cutting these vegetables up, that water's getting hot to steam them. Logical, right? Right? We're trying to keep it light here on Stoner Kitchen. So we're going to take another hit here in a minute after we get the last fucking beans cut because the ends suck. But I'm one of those people with the ends. I can't have the ends on my green beans either. That kind of defeats it all. Has nothing to do with being brought up on can. Well, maybe it does. Who cares? I just don't like it. You know? Here we go. We got green beans going. That's going to take the longest, I think. We got hot water for the noodles. That's good. Dump this out. Go in there. Now we're going to work on our pork chop. The reason I saved the pork chops for last is because there's not a whole lot we can do with anything else until we get all that going. Now, if you want good pork chops, get used to beating them. Beat your meat. Don't be afraid. Throw a pork chop or two on a plate, just like so. Get yourself a meat beater if you don't got one already. God hasn't provided you with something to beat your meat with, go ahead and purchase something. It's funny. Trust me. Get yourself some spices. Don't be afraid of spices. When you talk about pork, everybody goes to the same stuff. Rosemary, stuff like that. I like a little spice in my stuff. I'm a little Italian, I'm a little Mexican, and I'm a little rock and roll. Is that how that goes? She's a little bit country. Yeah, I don't know about country. Might not be a little bit country. Let's not forget to fire this joint. After all, it's Stoner Kitchen. You're at the Cottonmouth Inn, beautiful Littleton, Colorado. We're making dinner. Our water is boiling there, and there. Our pan is getting hot for the pork chops. The only thing we're missing is our blueberries. Blueberries on pork. Wow, what an idea. Fruit on meat. What an idea. Order your pizza with pineapple. Jesus Christ. Lighten up. On our blueberries, you don't have to get fresh picked blueberries if you're in the South and you're, fresh picked blueberries are something you are readily available. Go grab the fresh picked blueberries. You like that. We're in the North. We're in Colorado. We got frozen blueberries. So what? Sue us. You work with what you got. Don't try to keep thinking about what you don't have because you're not going to have something. Start working with what you got. We take wild blueberries that are frozen, and we're going to put them in a saucepan. And watch our hammer, because that was getting hot. That could have been a bad thing. That could have been one of the oops clips, but God always saves Big Mike. All right, we open the blueberries. We're going to heat those up because we want a hot blueberry sauce. I've done maple and I've done honey with the blueberries. I found that the best is the blueberries by themselves with a little bit of sugar. When I mean a little bit of sugar, I mean a little bit of fucking sugar. Don't put no great amount of fucking sugar on this shit, man. Fucking fuck up the whole dish. And then for kicks, I add a little bit of red pepper. A little bit of red pepper kind of contradicts all the sweetness on there and helps the pork really the pork flavor come out. If you like pig, this is your dish. Let's take a hit off our beer. We test our pan. It's hot enough. We are ready to cook. Smell that beer. If you're from Wisconsin, you love that beer smell. Let's put some more on there. Yeah, we like smoking, we like beer. We get some pepper. Pepper these pork chops up. Don't be afraid of the pepper. Pepper's your friend. Remember, all the spices that you put on the outside of meat are probably going to burn right into the meat and off of the meat, depending on how hot your pan is. It's not meant to go with the meat. So basically, don't be afraid of the pepper because half of it's going to burn off anyway. And if you're searing the meat correctly, it should. I mean, quite frankly. But I do a little thing with the hammer. Once I get the spices, this is a Louisiana Creole spice that I don't even know what the fuck it does. It tastes pretty good though. And a little bit of garlic salt. That's pretty good too. I would add minced onions if we were cooking steak, but we're not cooking steak, we're cooking pork chops. And we get those spiced up pretty good and nice here. You see everything's steaming, everything's coming to a boil. We're right on time with everything on our kitchen plate. And dinner is almost served. Our blueberries are getting a little hot. We're going to turn the heat down on that. And then you're going to mash the blueberries with a fork once they become not solid. Let's go ahead and add our noodles, because that water's boiling. Get that going there. Use another spoon. Get that going there. Freaking green beans look great. We're going to just cover that. I didn't have the right size pot lid, but so what? We want to cover them so that they get nice and cooked on the inside. Back to the pork. Now this is crunch time. When you're cooking, this is crunch time. This means everything's going to come out together. Don't panic at this point. Don't just start throwing shit here and there. Don't fucking start wigging out on the kids. It's just not the time. This is time when you need composure. Get a little red pepper on that. Makes it a little sweet and sour. And then we're going to beat it with the hammer. Beating our meat. Never thought you'd see this on a cooking show. If you're beating it another way, you're probably doing it wrong. Hit it with the hammer. Don't be afraid. Notch that shut. These are bone-in pork chops. I find they have a better flavor. It's kind of like the filet mignon of the pork, because you get two sides, dark meat, and generally you get a little bit of white meat on the pork. I like pork. I like to pork. I like pork. Here we go. Beating our meat on cooking in the Stoner kitchen. Everything seems to be coming along nicely. Our blueberries are actually, look at that. Beautiful. Beautiful. Then we're going to take a fork with our blueberries and we're going to just mash them a little bit. Get that going a little bit, mash that up. Let the sugar get inside the blueberries. Our green beans are doing phenomenal. And then we have our noodles, which may have had a little bit of small pan, but don't be afraid of a small pan. Fuck, what are you doing? Cooking in front of an army? We're ready to put the pork on.